Our next topic is this idea that Black gay men can't be friends. And I think that the continuation of that statement is they can't be friends without having slept together or without one having the crush on the other, or perhaps because we're all just so messy that having a true friendship is just not even possible. So I'm curious what you guys think about that one. Is that a true statement, or like where does the truth lie in that? Let's start with you, Marcus.
I don't think that's always true. I think that there can be some truth to it because I mean, I'll be honest enough to say that I have expressed interest before in a couple of people who are now my friends. I think that's just a thing. Like we try the whole thing. It don't necessarily work out that way, but we still have built a relationship, so we still end up being friends. But I don't think that's always true because by that same token, like I've had some friends that I would never try, not just because I don't see them in that way.
But what about us being messy?
Yes, that's foolishness. No, like I don't know what type of people have, like I don't know what type of relationship folk have or what type of friendships they have, but that's a personal issue that somebody they need to work through, go to therapy, talk to somebody.
I'm gonna go backwards. I think messy is definitely a maturity thing. So it's like you can be, 18 fresh out of your mama's house, or you can be 45. Like it is just really like where you are, what you enjoy. So I saw a tweet before. It was like specifically about like gays fighting, all these fight videos going on. They were like gays always fight when they go out because I think they're on a reality show. I think for some men that is really the truth. They do kind of really enjoy that type of behavior, those things. And while we might all watch that, some people really try to act that out, kind of a thing. So I just think that that's not the case though for everybody. But also too, I think that sometimes you just express interest and then a friendship happens because it wasn't there, and there's nothing wrong with that because you get to the friendship point and then you no longer see each other that way. But I also think too every friendship is different because some people can sleep with their friends and remain friendly. Other people cannot. So it just really is your comfort level and what you can do.
Yeah. I want to say something about that fight thing right quick because it blows my mind that people love to say like, oh, the gays don't do nothing but fight when they go out to the clubs. I'm like, have you ever been to a straight club? Like they start shooting.
That part. They do more than fight. Okay.
Listen.
Like, what?
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's just like if we constantly see videos of it online, and that for whatever reason people want to say that that's just what we do, and that's not necessarily the case. And as far as us being friends, I think it's definitely possible. I probably wouldn't have said that a few years ago, but and especially because I've been a lot of the gay friends that I've had have either had a crush on me or it comes out at some point. I haven't slept with any of my friends, but yeah, I mean, there's always that undercurrent of a potential romantic relationship. Well, not always, but sometimes there's that. But I've been very blessed recently to come in contact with some people who I can really call friends that have no ulterior motives or anything like that. So I'm happy for that example, and I'm happy to say that we could definitely be friends with each other without all of that other nonsense. Now, messy, I mean, I think that that's just a general human thing, that there are always going to be conflicts, but messy means messy to me, I think, would be a little bit more vindictive or something like that. And that's not necessarily where we all are. That's not a great generalization. So is it hard to make friends in our community, do you think?
No, but I think it's like you said too, do you have ulterior motives? Like some people go into friendships genuinely just trying to be friends. Other people go in with, oh, I had a crush. And they, like you said, they might not express it. They're like, maybe if I'm friends first. Or they might express it and they're like, okay, well, let me just be their friend and maybe one day down the line. Some people do kind of like wait, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's hard, but it also might be too, though. I think a lot of us do have our defenses up.
Mm.
I think maybe in regards to friendship, probably particularly for whatever reason. And so I think sometimes that makes it a bit more difficult.
Yeah.
I've had this conversation with a couple of my friends, and it's like, trying to find, it's hard to find spaces, where you can actually make friends, like really just in general. And I think it's especially hard, like you said, for us, because so many of us have defenses up because you never know, who gonna turn around and, try to use you for something, set you up for something else, or just straight up try to harm you. So I think I think it can be hard for us to find the places or the spaces to make friends. But I think that once you start to tap into a couple of those spaces, that is, you'll find people that'll flock to.
Yeah. I have found it to be extremely hard to make friends in the Black gay community. And that's just been my personal experience. And I don't know what to really attribute that to, because I don't think I'm a particularly messy person. I bounced from group to group, community group to community group to try to get involved in the community. And it's just been really hard. So, and like you say, the wall's up. I can remember going to a Black Pride event. And, I was just talking to a couple of guys, and, I wasn't even really trying to even like come on to them or anything, but, the guy was just like, oh, there's plenty of other people you can talk to or something like that. And I'm just like, there's no like community in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go out to a public space, there's no actual talking amongst each other outside of your initial clique. And when you don't have a clique, it's extremely hard. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have a clique. And even now, I wouldn't say I have a clique. I mean, I have my clique is all up in New York. So so I don't really even see them that often.
That makes me sad a little bit. Like I hate that you have to go through that. And I hate, that I'm gonna say that, that's been your experience. I've been sitting up here trying to think, like, how did I get to a lot of my friends? And that was something I was actually gonna ask you too, Brandon. Like thinking about the groups, honestly, of friends that I have, particularly the Black gay male friends. Like it's been a sort of like a finding a space type of thing. Like most of my friends either come from my fraternity, or they come from like school related stuff. Because I went to HBCU in Mississippi, so I have friends from there, and then from the rival HBCU from Alcorn and from Jackson State. Like I've been introduced to people from there and kind of branched out to some of their friend groups to kind of involve in.
Yeah.
So I don't think I actually just looked for them, but I was just in the spaces where we kind of linked up.
Yeah. I think mine is kind of similar. I think it's like I made some really good or solid friendships through social media. And then through those few or whatever, I've kind of met people around them and different things or whatever. Even sometimes there's been people that I was also following on social media as well, but they were more connected to my friend than I was. And so then finally, or spending more time with that friend, and I kind of get to interact with that person. I think that's been the most of my stuff, honestly. Because like for me though, in college, I didn't have that many Black gay friends, just of like a much smaller school. It wasn't that many of us there or whatever. So I just didn't have that then. But then like, again, though, through meeting people online and then later on meeting each other in person and different things, kind of how I met folks.
I feel like this is kind of an example because, like I met you just at a convention. Like I just went up talking, hey, how you doing? And just kind of sparked the conversation from there. And then like we continued kind of a conversation and then, invited into this. And now I met Brandon. Like I feel like it's really just like this deal, like it's a whole space thing. And I feel like you need someone, some party that's willing kind of like to open that connection, because what you said about having that protection up, and back to what Brandon said about having that, that wall up, there has to be someone who's willing and genuine. That's important. And really, really trying to reach out and trying to kind of like to make that connection, because once you get that, that little line, a little roadway to some other people, you could branch out possibly into.